Hey Joe, I have seen that you're a big fan of kettlebells, which I think is awesome because you're popularizing one of the best training tools for the over 40, 50, and 60 crowd. This is great. Now, I have a great challenge for you right now. A challenge not to humble you, but a challenge to make you realize that double bells is where it's at. You're using double bells in your current workout routine, which I enjoy. It's a great routine. But now I want you to take it to the next level with double bells going overhead. This is the so-called two bells overhead philosophy by my good friend Lebe from Harder to Kill Training. I know you're going to enjoy this. There's one thing that you mentioned in your video with Action Bronson where you say, hey, I rest until I'm fully recuperated after I've done an exercise.
Like if you can do 20 reps of something to failure, don't do 20, do 10. Do 10, wait a long time, like 5 minutes, and then do another 10.
And while this makes sense if you're looking for maximum strength, I want you to think a little bit further, because what happens in an MMA fight or in the BJJ fight? You can't just say, stop, let me rest until I'm fully recuperated, and then you get back at it again. No, 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 no. You have to keep it moving. And kettlebell training, especially doubles, will give you this feeling of a wrestling match or of a fight. The framework of this workout is a 45-minute window where we have warm-up, training, and cool down. And this is the workout that I'm going to show you today. And if you are not Joe Rogan, but you still want to do this workout, of course, go ahead and do it. And if you know Joe, please send him this video. I want to see him push double bells. And if you're over 40, and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. Gritsveteran Gregory von Lebe stark hier. So the first thing that we have to focus on is our warm-up, especially if we are a little bit older. We can't just jump into double bells and then expect great results when we're not properly warmed up. We might even injure or hurt ourselves. So, a proper warm-up always consists of a great mobility routine where you mobilize every joint from the top to the bottom, starting with the neck and finishing with the spine. And then I always want to elevate the heart rate a little bit by either stepping on the treadmill for a couple of minutes or just slow jogging, stepping in place. I have a great warm-up routine right here, Joe, if you need this before you're getting started. Now, let's jump into the workout. So the workout consists out of double bell work. This is the major part of the work, and then some body weight stuff. So let's focus on the double bell work first. We are using exercise number 1, the jerk. Cleaning both kettlebells into the rack position. Now, using the legs to catapult the weight overhead. Falling into a second dip to catch the weight. And doing this for a repeated motion for 10 reps. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is the double half snatch. One of my favorites. So you swing the kettlebell between the legs and we catapult it overhead, snatch it overhead in a top fixation and catch the weight again with a second dip. And I recommend that half snatch position or the rack position because when you're getting tired, you can rest either in that rack position or in the overhead position. And this is where rest comes in, where you want to rest while you're keeping it moving with the kettlebell. Then we have exercise number 3. This is a concoction of mine, and I'm happy to present it to you. The thrust jerk, a combination between a thruster and a jerk. I came up with a couple of exercises because I wanted to put my stamp of approval on it, but the thrust jerk is where it's at. Those other exercises, But this one, watch. We squat, we press, and we fall into a jerk. Again, 10 reps. Then, the final exercise, the double reverse lunge. This is kind of like an active rest protocol, and it's the only exercise where the bells don't go overhead. Looks like this. Shoulder width stance, both bells at your sides. Big step back, get that stretch, step back. Great, powerful stability exercise. And always make sure that the kettlebell stays in my center of mass. Again, 10 reps. So once we've done all 10 reps per exercise, we have one set. And after that one set, we add 1 minute of rest. And then we do 4 sets. And this is the major and big part of this workout. For the weights, you, Joe, you are a professional, right? So go ahead and maybe try this with double 24s and double 20s. If you're really going after it, you can even go heavier. Levi, for example, is using double 40s and double 44s or double 32s. I'm a lightweight person. I'm using double 28s and double 24s, sometimes double 32s, but then I have to drop the reps. In part number 2, we're using bodyweight stuff. And I know that you said in the podcast that all you need is some kettlebells and a pull-up bar, so here we go. We do 10 push-ups and 10 pull-ups and 10 dips. Once we've done these 3 exercises, that's 1 set. And then again, we do 4 sets total. And then we finish this whole powerful workout with burpees. And not the burpees where you jump around and look like a clown or a fool, but the military burpee. You are using static, powerful motion, dynamic movements. Don't jump around, it's not necessary, because the military burpee is where it's at. The main workout shouldn't take you longer than 30 minutes. A main workout, I mean the kettlebell stuff, the bodyweight stuff, and the burpee finisher. So always calculate your full tonnage, the full volume. And in my case, with kettlebells only, it was around 7.5 tons of weight. And now the next time you go after it, your goal is to maybe go 7.6 tons, 7.7, or the total, maybe you reach 10 tons, maybe you reach 10.5 tons. And of course, there's the law of diminishing returns. It's not that you always want to push it to the limit and go balls to the walls. What you can then also say is, you know what? Let me use a heavier kettlebell and do less reps. Because then, with a heavier bell, the protein degradation is a little bit higher, but you're spending a little bit less time on the tension, but that's also fine. There are different progressive methods that you can choose. And if you're wondering what type of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell. The best kettlebell on the market, period. We are working hard to making it available in the EU, Switzerland, as well as the UK as soon as possible. We have a waiting list in the description where you can get notified once we open up shop. Check the link in the description to get 10% off your next purchase and use the code Lebe at checkout. So here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description called the Kettlebell Code. If you're over 40, 50 or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness, this is where the kettlebell comes in. And I'm going to show you how to get started with my ebook. So what are you waiting for? Download that ebook right now in the first link in the description on the pinned comment.